Apple Intelligence is extremely useful across the ecosystem, from the iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, and even the Apple Vision Pro. That's why in this video, I'll show you everything that Apple Intelligence can do to your iPhone so you can learn and use all of these incredible useful features. I had the incredible opportunity to preview some exclusive features that Apple revealed to me in an Apple experience I attended. Hit subscribe because we're about to reach 400,000 subscribers. It's going to be an incredibly in-depth video, so there's timestamps all across this video if you just want to pick the parts that you're most interested in. Without further ado, let's get started.
So yes, I'm here in Berlin at an Apple experience to learn more about Apple Intelligence, but more importantly, examples on how we should be using Apple Intelligence.
Now, the first main feature about Apple Intelligence are all of the new upgrades in Siri. Siri is way smarter, has context awareness, and the way you speak to Siri can also feel more natural, including mistakes. What's the weather like in London? I mean, Paris. As you can see, I just did a mistake by saying London, but it's now giving me the weather for Paris. And now it's got context awareness, so you can do things like, how about in New York? So you can see, I didn't need to say what was the weather like in New York. It already understood that I'm asking about the weather. And now directly from there, you can ask things like, set up a timer for 8 minutes. And just like that, it's now setting up an 8-minute timer. Now, as I said, Siri is now smarter than ever. And I'm doing like this because it's not directly with Siri. Because now if you go inside of settings and tap on Apple Intelligence, if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see ChatGPT. Because yes, ChatGPT is now integrated directly with Siri. So you simply sign in, you can have the pro version or the free version of ChatGPT. And every time you ask Siri something that Siri doesn't know how to answer it, it will ask ChatGPT for the answer. When is Kendrick Lamar coming to Barcelona? As you can see, Siri doesn't know. So it's asking me, do you want to search the web or do you want to use ChatGPT? We can tap on ChatGPT. As you can see, it is working with ChatGPT now, and it will tell me exactly the day that Kendrick Lamar and SZA will perform in Barcelona, which is July 30th, which by the way, I'm actually going to that concert. You can ask Siri with ChatGPT anything now. Give me a recipe for vegan Alfredo. I'll need to use ChatGPT to write that. Go ahead. Working with ChatGPT. And the cool thing about this is this recipe, there's actually this copy icon on the top right. If you tap that, you can obviously paste that recipe directly from ChatGPT using Siri directly to your Apple Notes. Can you write me a 5-day itinerary of my friends that are coming to Barcelona? It's about like 5 days. So you can see I spoke to Siri more natural in a way that previously with Siri, it would just not understand me. It's a mom, a dad, and a son, so I like, restaurants and activities that the 15-year-old son would also enjoy. ChatGPT can also talk to you back, as you can see. Here you go. 5-day itinerary, day 3, day 4. This was previously never obviously possible with Siri. So even though you might think that Siri needs improvements, it's incredible that ChatGPT is directly integrated with Siri. If you don't want to talk to Siri like we've always done via your voice, you can now simply double tap on the bottom and type to Siri now. It will give you a couple recommendations. For example, let's tap on send an email. Who do you want to email? You can do everything by text once again. You can tap on Nikias. Okay, I want this email. And what's the subject? You can directly do it from there. And once again, I'm not using my voice. I'm doing it directly from typing with Siri. There's a lot of instances, maybe you're at the subway and you don't want to talk to Siri all the time. I'm really glad that this feature is here.
Now, we've talked about ChatGPT integration inside of Siri, but something that I didn't know about as well is that you don't need to log into a ChatGPT account to use the free version of ChatGPT inside of Siri, which is incredible for a bunch of reasons, but most importantly in terms of privacy. So if you ask it something, for example, how long is my flight from Berlin to Barcelona, I can use ChatGPT for that. And since this isn't logged in, it will show me exactly that answer without being logged in.
The next feature that I love using with Apple Intelligence is visual intelligence. Now, if you've got an iPhone 16, for example, just by holding on camera control on your iPhone, visual intelligence will open up. And it allows you to simply snap a photo of an object, for example, the C-3PO Lego minifigure, and it will give you 2 different options, ask or search. If you ask it, it will open up ChatGPT so you can ask details about the object. For example, how much is this Lego Chrome minifigure cost? How much is its value right now? Working with ChatGPT, this Lego Chrome Gold C3PO was released in 2007 and it's estimated around $3,000. So it can give you different information and will even give you the source information if you want to. Visual intelligence will also allow you to search with Google. So I can snap a photo of this card right here and it will provide me a bunch of different searches of the specific object. And then I can tap on that link and have more information about this object. For example, I can buy this card if I want to directly on eBay. Now there's obviously so many more use cases for it. Maybe you're out in the street and you see a jacket that you like. You can snap a quick photo of it using visual intelligence and it will give you a bunch of links for you to buy that jacket from. Maybe you want to know a breed of a dog that you see out in the street. There's obviously so much more that visual intelligence can do. So ChatGPT and Google being integrated directly with these Apple Intelligence features makes it extremely useful. Now there's a couple ways to activate visual intelligence. So if you've got an iPhone 16 or iPhone 16 Pro, well, you can simply hold on camera control and it will open up. But what happens if you've got an iPhone 16e or iPhone 15 Pro? Well, now you can activate visual intelligence inside of your control center. As you can see, just by tapping on this, it will open up visual intelligence. Or you can even add it inside of your lock screen. We can tap on the plus and add visual intelligence. So directly from the lock screen, you're gonna have this little button right here and it will open up visual intelligence. So that's it for Siri. Let's talk about the Photos app now because it also gets a bunch of Apple Intelligence features. And one of my favorite ones is cleanup. How many times has someone photobombed your photo and you just want to get rid of it? Well, now using the new cleanup tool inside of the Photos app, you can now simply circle an object just like that. Let's say I want to get rid of this boat, which is bothering me in the background of the image. Just like that, I can get rid of it. And it actually did really well in removing that object. It can help you remove all sorts of things. For example, let's take a look at this selfie that me and Chenio took right here. Well, Apple Intelligence will automatically detect the people, so I can simply tap on the people and they should start disappearing. Now, obviously, depending on the photo, it will do a better or worse job at it. But let's take a look at these two people right here. It got rid of them pretty well. There's obviously a little bit of mistake if you really zoom in, but if you take a look at the zoom out, you can see that Apple Intelligence totally removed those two people and the behind of that photo. It actually looks quite great now. Check out this example. This photo is beautiful only if I was by myself in this image. There's a couple people ruining the shot right here, so I can tap clean up and I can circle this girl right here and I can get rid of her. And in this instance, it just works so incredibly well. Let's get rid of this guy as well. Boom, just like that. I can select these towels right here, which are highly bothering me. Boom, it got rid of that super well. I can tap on that person. All right, let's get rid of these guys as well. You can be a little bit rough with it as well. Boom, it's working so well now. Boom, it got rid of that. Let's get rid of all these tourists right here. I don't want you guys here. Get out. And let's get rid of this person as well. And boom, just like that. Ooh, who threw plastic at a beach? Come on, let's get rid of that as well. Look at the before and after. Look at that. It feels like I'm with Apple at the beach all by myself. I absolutely love this photo now. Something that before, it wasn't really usable because of how many people there were at the beach. This is actually a nice photo now. I like it. Now, inside of the Photos app, if you go to Memories and swipe to the right, you'll see this new Create a Memory Movie. And Memory Movies is also a brand new Apple Intelligence features, which allows you to simply describe a memory and it will create a custom little movie of that memory that you thought of. Now, the cool thing about Apple's AI, Apple Intelligence, is that it knows everything about you. For example, it knows who Nikias, who Chenia is, it knows who my mom is, it knows who my dog is. So I can tap on Nikias and I can put with dogs at the beach. So you can put location, you can put people. Your iPhone knows everything about you. And the best thing about Apple Intelligence is its privacy as well. So you can tap search and it will analyze my entire library of all the photos that have Nikias and dogs in them and create a little movie. Now it's currently analyzing the entire photo library and it's doing everything on device. And there you go, my partner and my dog. That's how the iPhone is calling this little movie. Let's turn the volume up. There you go. It's now creating a custom film. Now I can change the music if I want to with the Apple Music subscription. There's a couple different suggestions depending on the prompt that you gave. It will give you a couple different ones. For example, What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. You can also change the filter and the look. Let's say I want a brighter look for these images. And I can also pass through different templates. For example, Black and White and Cardigan by Taylor Swift, or Die With A Smile and has a warm, bright feel. You can choose any of them. Once you're done, you can simply tap play. And if you tap on these three dots right here and tap on share, you'll be able to export that video and send it to a friend. Great for birthdays. You can create a little movie with you and your friend and send it as a birthday present. And Apple Intelligence will do everything. You won't need to do any fancy edits. The Photos app will do all the editing for you. Now, the search tab of the Photos app has also been improved. Search is now smarter and feels more familiar because you can use standard language, for example, lunch with Nikias, and it will extract all of the photos that Chenia has had with Nikias. Check it out. A cool trick that not a lot of people know about is that you can also search sounds inside of the Photos app. For example, you can search up applause, and you see this little sound icon right here? You can tap on it and it will search all the videos. Check it out. As you can see, people are applauding and it automatically knows that. So Apple Intelligence makes it very easy to find the photos and the videos that you are exactly looking for with the improved search tab. Apple Intelligence also has a couple image generation tools. For example, Genmoji. There's obviously tons of emojis that you can choose from the iOS keyboard, but I'm sure you don't always find the one that you need. So now with Genmoji, just by typing in a prompt, it will generate that prompt into an emoji. Just imagine you're texting someone about some random thing. For example, I don't know, I'm so full I could literally fly with so much sushi. Imagine you just said that. You could type in flying sushi and boom, flying sushi with wings. And if you don't like it, you can scroll to the right and find the one that you need. It will generate a bunch of different ones as long as you keep swiping on the right. Let's tap on this one. This one looks pretty good. It will add it, and what's cool about it is that it will save directly inside of the emoji keyboard. This is the one that I made of a fried egg. This is the one that I made of a dancing avocado. Now, what's nice about this is that it also works with anything, right? So we have a chow chow, for example. Chow chow dog. Let's type in chow chow dog. Chow chow dog. And it will generate a custom emoji of any dog that you can think of. There you go. Come on, isn't that incredible? It will also show you a couple different colors. Let's say you want a white one. Ours is actually like this color, which is actually a beautiful emoji, by the way. I'm sending this to me right now.
Okay, so here's a fun activity. I've got 2 dice right here, and I'm gonna, twist them around and see what comes up with to see what I'm gonna create a Genmoji with. Are you ready? I got a cheetah as a scientist. So now I'm typing in cheetah as scientist and look at Apple Genmoji. Are you ready? There it is. That is a cheetah as a scientist.
Genmoji also works with people that you know of. For example, myself, Nikias, dancing. Let's create a custom emoji of that. And from there, it will ask us for a starting point. So it will basically be like, which one looks like Nikias more? We can tap on this one, tap on done. And now it will create a dancing Nikias emoji, me, like a me emoji, since the iPhone has access to our entire photo library. And there it is, there is me dancing. Once again, you can have a couple different variations. You can also be like Nikias walking, chow, chow, dog. Boom, there's me walking a chow chow dog. I can tap add, and once again, add it to my keyboard and send.
Now, here's something that I learned about Apple Genmoji. We obviously all know that you can generate custom emojis and you can send them as a standard emoji in iMessage, but something that I personally didn't know is that you can actually send them as iMessage tapbacks right here. Just by holding on a message, you can just swipe to the right with this custom emoji, and you can use any emoji that you want. For example, this Genmoji right here from the giraffes with sunglasses, you tap that, and automatically it's been added as a tapback. You can also save it as a sticker, which is pretty cool, and you can just drop it around and just boom, just like that. Let's say you want to add this cat in this iMessage, and you can just flood the chat with Genmojis.
With Apple Intelligence, you also get a brand new app, and that is Image Playground, allowing you to generate custom images. The app is very easy to use. It will give you different suggestions of things you can ask it to do. It also has access to your photo library, so we can tap on Nikias, and then we can give him context. For example, birthday, and now we can be like, at the beach. Celebrating the birthday at the beach. You can give Image Playground as much information as possible. It just generated an image. There's also different sketch style. For example, my favorite one is personally animation. It's the one that's funnier. Look how funny I look. Oh my gosh. Do I look like this in real life? I hope not. Once you're done, you can tap add. This is a great way to send fun images for someone's birthday once again. You can get quite creative with these. I mean, look at this sketch style from Chenya. I feel like this one looks great and it's not as funny as this one. You can then save all of these images and save it to your photo gallery or just send it to someone.
Okay, so that was definitely a lot of fun. We did a terrarium, and then using the image one on the iPad, we already knew about that, right? But something that I didn't know, and you probably didn't either, is that using the image wand, you can circle objects, for example. We all knew about that, but something that I personally didn't know is that you can also select words, and it will also transform that into an image, so to make that illustration more accurate.
Now, enough of image generation. One of my favorite ways to use Apple Intelligence is with writing tools. Writing tools is all over iOS. It's in the keyboard, it's in Mail, it's in Notes, it's in Messages. Let's take a look on how it works inside of Apple Notes. So it will appear right here in the bottom with this icon right here, and it will open up writing tools. One of my favorite ways to use it is with this little icon in the bottom, which is Compose. If you tap on it, it will compose it, obviously, with ChatGPT. So you can ask ChatGPT to write you anything as you would, but directly built into iOS. Write 2 paragraphs to my boss on apologizing on why I was late to work yesterday. You can tap on search, and boom, it will start composing that email. ChatGPT is requesting additional details. What's your boss's name? Let's write Tim Cook, just for the sake of this video. Reason for being late? I don't have one, so make it up. Let's tap on update. And there you go. Dear Tim Cook, I sincerely apologize for being late to work. It wrote me an entire little document on why I was late to work. But obviously, Writing Tools does so much more than that. You can describe changes, for example, make it way shorter and feel more natural speaking. Tap search, and it will do all the requests that we wanted to do. Boom, from an entire paragraph, it did it to like literally 2 sentences. Boom, just like that. It also gives you a couple of templates of things that you can do. You can proofread an entire document to look up for mistakes. You can rewrite, you can make it sound more friendly, professional, or concise. You can summarize an entire document, or turn this into key points, turn it into list, or turn it into a table. So let's take our vegan Alfredo recipe that we asked Siri to do before. We can tap on this and turn it into a table, for example. And boom, just like that, it added the entire recipe into a table. Smart Replies is also new with Apple Intelligence, which basically gives you a suggested replies pop-up above your keyboard. It works in the Messages and inside of the Mail app. This is one of those features that I use on the Apple Vision Pro so much, because on the Apple Vision Pro, typing is a little bit annoying. So Apple Intelligence giving you options on what to type, which, by the way, is usually correct, makes it just very handy. But once again, it's available across all platforms, including the iPhone. One of those features that I use constantly is Summarize, and it allows me to summarize all across the platform, from email, from Mail, Safari, and Messages. Let's take this email, for example, that feels quite long. I can tap on Summarize, and it will take a look at that entire email and give me a quick summary. Monthly statements for the last quarter are available for Revolut Securities Europe, blah, 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 blah. Summarize in Safari can be really handy for articles. So if you tap on Show Reader, it will give you this Summarize icon, which if you tap on it, it will give you a quick summary of this entire article right there inside of Safari. So if you read a lot of articles, being able to summarize websites is extremely handy. The voice memo also gets new features. Let's take at this voice memo that I just recorded as an example. I can tap on View Transcript. I just did this voice memo and it automatically transcripted everything, which is quite handy. I can tap on Copy Transcript and once again, add it inside of my Apple Notes, do this, writing tools, it's called kind of connect. The transcript feature is incredibly useful for college. If you want to record a lecture, it will transcribe everything. Copy that, put it into writing tools, summarize it, put it into key points. So you can technically summarize lessons in class automatically with your iPhone or iPad. This feature is not available in the EU, but you can now also record phone calls, and then it will grab that recording and put it into Apple Notes. So you can transcribe that once again, summarize. So maybe you're having a call with your boss, you can, have all of that call recorded and then summarize everything that you need. Now let's talk about notifications and focus, because there's a lot of improvements here. There's now a new focus mode called reduce interruption. This will basically allow AI to figure out what's important to you and will mute the rest. The best way in order to make it work is to use it, because the more you use it, the more it will learn from you. If you go inside of settings and then tap on notifications, you're going to see two Apple Intelligence features. The first one is prioritize notifications. So if you've got tons of notifications in your lock screen, with prioritized notifications, it will prioritize the one that, once again, Apple Intelligence thinks it's important to you. Oh, check it out. There you go. This is a priority notifications. This isn't planned whatsoever. It's crazy that Apple Intelligence's priority notifications actually got this right. I'm currently in the priority focus mode, as you just saw, and we were actually waiting for this message. So it worked. I actually needed to know this, so it's crazy that it just worked in real time. So with prioritized notifications, you can deactivate the ones that you just never want to be notified for. The best way that I've seen this work is just turning all of them off and then turning on messages, WhatsApp, maybe Instagram. And then the second new feature is summarize notification. Now, if we scroll down in Notification Center, as you can see, Apple Intelligence is currently summarizing messages. This is a WhatsApp group. Inside of here, there's 6 messages, and it will group all of them and give you a quick summary. Same for Gmail. It's giving us 3 different emails, one from Samsung, funny. And it will give you a quick summary of everything. Don't forget that this isn't always 100% accurate. Always make sure to read your emails and your messages. There's a lot of people online that have posted a bunch of crazy stuff of what this summarize feature has told them. In my opinion, it's worked surprisingly well. Some of the summaries are quite funny, but it usually does the job pretty well, at least in my opinion. If you've had a funny story within this summarize feature, make sure to let us know down below in the comments. So that's everything that you need to know about Apple Intelligence. If you learned a lot from this video, you could definitely hit subscribe, or you could watch more of my content right here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.